We've got a hearty, healthy Mediterranean salad on the menu this morning.
That's right. Erin Bunting is showing us how it's done. What are we having, Erin?
Yeah, I really feel like salad is not just for the summertime. So like we can also be eating salads like into the winter time. And I just did a winter salads workshop last week, and I thought I'm going to cook one of those dishes for you guys today. So
She's getting her Freekeh on.
We're getting a Freekeh on. I know that you can't really say the word Freekeh without that. So we're going to make a Freekeh salad with roasted beets and roasted carrots. And I'm just going to show you the veg first, and then I'll talk a bit more about the Freekeh, which some people might not be familiar with.
Yeah.
So beetroots. For this salad, I like to roast my own beetroots, but if you don't want to do that, you can buy the vac-packed ones. But if you are going to roast your own beetroots from scratch, I've got a mixture of red and golden beetroots here, and even some little like long ones. These ones are called cylindra. What you want to do is wrap them up in tin foil or put them in like a sealed container, like a sealed casserole. If you're cooking like maybe 5 or 6, put them into a sealed casserole with a lid on in the oven. If you're just cooking a couple, just wrap them in foil. You just want to scrub them well, put a little bit of oil on top of them, a little bit of salt, just rub that in, just so it gets nicely coated, and then just wrap them up. And then you're just going to pop them in the oven like that at 180, and they can take quite a long time to cook. They can take up to 2 hours. It just depends on the size of the beetroot and how old they are. So throw them in when you're doing something else. You know, if you've got something else going on, you can cook these in advance. You don't need to cook them just before the salad. Okay. So they take a little while to cook, but they can take only 45 minutes. So after about 45 minutes, check them. Just need to open them up or just put a knife in, and just if it's nice and soft, then it's ready to go. Okay. But once they're all cooked, they'll look like, let's do this one. They'll look like this. So really nice and soft, and the skin's still on them. At that point, you don't want to eat the skin of the beetroot really, because it's just a bit kind of, I mean, it's edible, but it's not
the nicest.
Not the nicest. But once you cook them like that, the skin will just peel off really easily. So you can just basically almost rub it off. You don't even need to use a knife. If it's a bit tough, you can use a wee paring knife to just help you get the final bits off. But basically, it'll just peel off really easily. And once you've got it cooked and roasted, it's like really easy to peel, and then just chop it into some wedges. And the flavour of a roasted beetroot is definitely superior to like buying a, like, you know, the vacuum packed ones.
Or a jar.
Or a jar. I mean, you can use those, it will be fine, but just if you really, and also it's a really nice time of year to use like local produce, because beetroots are in season now, and lots of the like small scale farmers will have them. And if you go with the small scale farmers, you can get some of these really like unusual varieties that are a bit different to what you get in the shops. And then we're also going to do some roasted parsnips. So for the parsnips, I've roasted these already, but just to show you, when you're roasting parsnips at this time of year, which is when they're in season, they're so good. Parsnips are improved by being in the ground when it's cold. They get sweeter. So this is exactly the time of year we want to be eating them. They're like grown really well in Ireland, so a great vegetable to use.
It's definitely cold again this morning.
It was so cold this morning.
For a reason.
To make the parsnips.
That's why.
But if you're going to cook parsnips, what I would say is when they're really big like this, they have quite a thick core in the centre of them, and sometimes that doesn't get very soft. So if you're chopping them up to cook, you can just take that little bit of core out, and then you don't end up with the you know, it can just be a wee tiny bit tough. So basically, just chop them into chips like that.
Yeah.
And then we'll just.
And that's what they'll come out looking like.
A bit of olive oil, a bit of salt, a bit of pepper, and then we'll just, once we've roasted them, they're going to end up looking like this, lovely, delicious.
Just like some delicious chips.
Yeah,
Look at this.
Sure, you'd have to.
Good, they're so good.
Parsnips are so
good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we've got the parsnips and we've got the beetroots. And then the final thing we're going to top this with, just to get a bit of extra like nutrients and deliciousness, is we're going to make a few kale crisps.
How long would these parsnips be in the oven for now?
So they go in the oven. So I put them in the oven for 20 minutes, and then actually 5 minutes before the end, I put a wee bit of lemon and honey together and drizzle it over them, and then put them back in just to crispen them up. And it just gives them that extra little bit of flavour. And that's a great thing to do with carrots as well. If you're roasting carrots, it really adds a bit of extra flavour and like sweetness and deliciousness.
You see, it's like the prep for the Christmas dinner.
I'm telling you,
Roasting the parsnips.
It tastes like home.
You don't really need anything else. You can almost just eat them as they are. Like a pretty good snack, really. Like so good for you. If you want to make a few wee kale crisps just to go on top of this, I always think if you're making a salad, try and get some different textures in, because it can be a bit boring otherwise. So I really like to put a bit of crunch in. So I really like to make these wee kale crisps to go on top of them. And basically, they're super easy to do. All you need to do is tear the kale off the stalk, which I was just doing there. Put a wee tiny bit of olive oil, a wee tiny bit of salt on them, swish them around. stick them in the oven, and they cook in about 5 minutes time. Check them after 5 minutes. If they're crispy, take them out. If there's a few that are crispy and a few aren't, then you're going to end up with these lovely little... and they're so good, and my kids really like eating them, and they are real greens avoiders, so it's a good one for that as well, even just as a snack.
Okay.
And then we've got the Freekeh here. So Freekeh is a wheat, and it is a cracked green wheat. It's traditionally from the Middle East, from that kind of region of the world. And it's really good to eat because it's less processed than lots of other grains that we eat. And whatever way it's processed, it has a kind of smoky flavour, so it's really like unusual flavour. And it's just so good in a salad. It's also good just as a side. You can cook it as a grain. In terms of cooking it, you need to bring a pot of water to the boil, lots of water in it, salt it like you're cooking pasta, put the grain in, and then it cooks in about 30 minutes. Okay. Sometimes a wee bit longer, sometimes a wee bit shorter, but it takes a bit longer to cook than like pasta or something. And we're going to make a really nice dressing to go through the salad. So we've got some olive oil, about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm going to put a tablespoon of cider vinegar in there. You can use white wine vinegar if you don't have cider vinegar. I'm going to put in a good tablespoon of Dijon mustard for flavour and also for all those lovely little seeds. A little teaspoon of, not Dijon, I'm going to put whole grain, a tablespoon of whole grain, a teaspoon of Dijon, a couple of teaspoons of honey for that sweetness.
Oh, lovely.
And this is actually a really good dressing also on, if you're making like cocktail sausages, this makes a really good dressing for cocktail sausages as well.
Okay, we've got about a minute
for the
left.
festive time. Oh yeah, right, we'll speed up here.
Martin's
a little bit of garlic
he's starving
in there.
here. He's starving.
A little bit of
stomach
garlic.
thinks my throat's being cut.
Give it a good mix. We're going to dress this grain with about 2/3 of that.
I noticed after you did the beets, after you sliced them, you wiped your hands because that can stain.
It can stain though. It doesn't stain too long. I wouldn't be too, give your hands a couple of washes and it'll be fine. So we're going to pop this, or you can use gloves if you want to, but I just generally just wash my hands. Some grains in. We need those parsnips.
Oh yeah. We've half them eaten.
That's back. It. Put some parsnips on and a few beetroots on, which we've just dressed with a wee bit of oil and a wee bit of vinegar.
If you were not to tell the kids that they're parsnips,
they're
just look
chips,
like chips.
100% juicy chips.
And they would eat them, and then you get tastes a bit different, but they're
so good.
Gorgeous sweet vegetable.
So sweet, aren't they? And I mean the same with roasted carrots, I think as well, to some extent too.
Yeah.
Put those on top. A bit more dressing.
Look at that now. Stunning.
Are you not making one for Eric?
Oh, I'm just getting a spoon here.
Those kale crisps, and I've got a wee bit of roasted pecans to go over the top as well because they are.
She'll get no good out of us now.
Oh, and look, also gorgeous little pieces of choggia beets. So if you get some of these lovely artisanal beets, you can. They have this lovely candy stripe, and you can just serve them raw.
This looks absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much.
Dig in.
Let's get it. Let's dig in.
Yeah, get stuck in.
And it's about all those different textures, the smokiness of the freekeh, and then the softness of the root vegetables, earthiness, sweetness, and then that crispness.
The crunch off that.
Of the little.
That was gorgeous. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Erin. Up next.